Good day everyone, I'm Heddy Julien of Dalogdog, and our topic for today is feasibility study. And to start off, let's start with our introduction. So basically, feasibility study is an integral part of cooperative business development. It is also an analytical tool used during a business development process to show how a business world operates under a set of assumptions. It also evaluates the project's potential for success. Taking a project from the initial idea through the operational stage is a complex and time-consuming effort. So basically, before a potential member invests in a proposed business project, they must first determine if it can be economically viable, and then they must decide if investment advantages outweigh the risk involved. Because feasibility study occurs at the evaluation stage when the focus is on whether to proceed with a project. So without the feasibility studies, the percentage of startups that fail would be higher. So the rule of thumb for the feasibility analysis step for most development projects is 3 to 6 months. So some complex project, what we call the pre-feasibility, which is done early in the project timeline to provide the first cut evaluation of the proposed business idea. So feasibility study also presents and clarifies the risks and returns associated with the project so that prospective members can evaluate them. Feasibility study also is not intended to identify new ideas, concepts for a project, because these ideas should be clearly identified before a study is initiated. So now let us define what is feasibility. Feasibility studies is an evaluation of proposal design to determine the difficulty in carrying out a designated task. So generally, feasibility study precedes technical development and project implementation. It is also used to assess whether the proposed project should be undertaken. It does this by assessing feasibility in 4 areas. So feasibility studies has 4 areas. So we have here the 4 areas of feasibility studies. First is the economic feasibility, second, technical feasibility, third, operational feasibility, and lastly, the schedule feasibility. So let us define first the economical feasibility, which relates to the money. So economic feasibility, it relates to the budget for a project and how money will be spent. So next is the technical feasibility, which relates to hardware and software. So basically, technical feasibility relates to whether hardware and software within a business can cope with a proposed new system, and if not, whether it is feasible to purchase new technology. Here, all hardware and software would be justified in whether it is necessary for the new system. Third is the operational feasibility, which relates to the people. So, operational feasibility relates to whether the participants will be able to handle the new system. Factors that would need to be considered include the technical skills employees, as well whether or not training will be necessary for staff and what materials would need to be able for training, such as training manuals. So last, the schedule feasibility, which relates to the time. Schedule feasibility relates to the amount of time allocated to the development of the new system. Here the time frame would be assessed, as projects that run over time can have both a financial and organizational impact on a business. So next, we have here the components of a feasibility study. So feasibility study has 6 components. The first one is the description of the business, which the product or the services to be offered and how they will be delivered. Second is the market feasibility, which includes a description of the industry, current market, anticipated future market, potential, competition, sales projections, and potential buyers, and many more. The third one is the technical feasibility. Details how you will deliver a product or the service, like materials, labor, transportation, where your business will be located, and technology needed. So fourth is the financial feasibility, which projects how much startup capital is needed, sources of capital, returns on investment. The fifth one is the organizational feasibility, which defines the legal and corporate structure of the business. It also may include professional background information about the founders and what skills they can contribute to the business. And lastly, the conclusion. It discusses how the business can succeed. So be honest in your assessment because investors won't just look at your conclusions. They will also look at the data and will question your conclusions if they are unrealistic. So before we end this topic, I have here a short video for you to understand more what is feasibility study.
Pat and Paul are two Irish entrepreneurs who run successful internationally focused manufacturing companies. Both have new product ideas. Pat was really confident that he understood his customer, so he began to invest in manufacturing. He had some really expensive brochures and marketing materials printed, he advertised to the trade media, and spent a lot of his company's money at the very early stages. After a few months, a few orders began to trickle in. He couldn't figure out why his sales weren't much higher, so he spent more money on marketing and advertising, but with little effect. Paul, on the other hand, decided to invest his first 3 months to complete a feasibility study before he invested any capital in his new product idea. He went and spoke to potential customers, asked them what they thought of his new product idea, showed them a prototype of the new product, and recorded their feedback. He looked at his competitors, assessed what they were doing and who their customers were. He estimated what resources he would need to launch the new product and, most importantly, how much this would all cost him. Following his research, Paul launched a product that responded exactly to what the market wanted and immediately saw a high level of sales come in. A few months pass and Pat and Paul run into each other. They talk about their businesses and new products. Paul tells Pat about his feasibility study and how it changed his route to market strategy. Pat realizes his mistake. In a last-ditch attempt, before giving up on his new product, Pat decided to conduct a feasibility study. Like Paul, he looked at his customers and what they wanted. He looked at his competitors and researched what made his product unique. He looked at the market, determined where he fit, and how much of the market share he could gain over the next 12-month period. 6 months later, Pat and Paul meet again. Pat's discovered that neither his product, nor price, nor its promotion were the problem. In fact, his product had huge market potential, and with proper approach to market that was Pat's big issue. He took the wrong route to market. Otherwise, his new product would have been far more successful and profitable. Having a great new product idea is only the first step. Feasibility studies help you to learn about your market, your customers, and your product. Get your strategy right the first time. Contact IMS Marketing today to discuss your new product idea. Let us help you get your product to market.